Today, we're diving into a popular post from the Reddit titled as "Aida for suing my girlfriend after she had my 1967 Impala project taken to the scrapyard." This post received 70,814 upvotes. Posted by Jimothyisyouruncle, the post reads as follows. "I'll try to keep this short. I had a 1967 Impala 4-door that I bought in February 2019. A couple months ago I bought my first house that had a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I had the body in one bay and the chassis in another, plus the whole garage filled with parts. About 2 months ago my girlfriend came to live with me during this whole crisis and the whole time has hated that car. She wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places to park under shady trees, or hell, even in the barn if it has to be inside. I tell her tough luck, it's my house and it's not like I can just throw it back together real quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple days on a business trip for the small local company I work for. When I got back, my girlfriend was all smiles, making me food all the time, doing all the chores, all that. I thought maybe she just was happy to have me home, but then I realized that I didn't see her car in its usual spot. I asked her where she parked so I could make sure I mow that area and keep it clean, and she said not to worry because she parked in the garage. I asked how and she told me to go check it out. Turns out that while I was gone she hired some people to come over and move everything related to that car, including the drivetrain, body, and chassis and all parts, and take it to the local dump, scrapyard. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent over $11,000 on that car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court for that and she brushed me off like I was being dramatic. I told her that it's done between us and to pack her things and leave. I admit I was really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer. And as I have all the receipts for all that money spent and I have her on my house's security cam footage letting the guys in and watching them take it all, I think I can win. Her family and friends are absolutely blowing me up, saying it's just a stupid old piece of junk and that she cannot pay back all that money I spent, and that I should just let it go. But I have been putting all my time, effort, and money into that car for a year and a half now, and goddammit if I am not going to get justice for what she did. Aida edit. Thank you all so much for the support and awards and everything. I'm glad I have some people on my side. I got a call from her mom about 20 minutes ago and she told me that I was ruining her daughter's life over a stupid car. I told her she ruined her own life. I've been gathering documentation and stuff and I'm about to head down to the police station and file a report, as suggested by Lots here. Once again thank you all. Update. Went to the police station last night. Was told to come back in the morning. Just got back and filed an official report against her for grand larceny and grand theft auto. I showed them all the receipts I had for the car and the footage of her letting the guys come and take it, as well as the title for the vehicle in my name. They said they will be in contact with all 3 parties, me, XGF, and junkyard guys, soon, and they will hopefully be able to recover some or all of the car. Just have to wait now. Huge update. They found my goddamn car. The junkyard guys apparently were in the middle of hiding it when the police came to ask them questions. It was on a forklift and they were gonna put it on top of a pile of cars that was hidden behind more piles of cars. They said it was theirs and they had the title, but obviously didn't have the title for it, and since they matched the VIN on the chassis and body to the VIN on my title, it was obviously mine. I know at least one person there has been arrested. I think he was in the camera footage I talked about earlier, but IDK if it was the boss or whomever or even his specific charge. They also told me they would be looking into this specific junkyard for any other vehicles reported stolen. They said they haven't been able to get in contact with my ex just yet, but they're working on it. I am just so glad they found my car. Luckily I made quite an album of pictures detailing me tearing down the car, and so I can use that to prove what parts they had were mine, so I can hopefully get most or all of it back. Police haven't let me take it back home yet, as they say it as evidence or something, so hopefully I can get it back eventually. Thank you all so much for the support and advice. She's gonna be alright. A comment from user Abad Food Friend says, "Inta. What is with this sub and terrible so's who don't respect their partner's property and passions? Like how the fuck did she expect you act? Oh, yeah, you completely destroyed my passion project while also causing a considerable financial loss. But at least your car is in the garage." Face with rolling eyes, she wasn't very bright. Being dumped and sued is the most predictable outcome from this scenario. This comment received 5348 upvotes. A comment from user ZombieSquirrel57 says, "NTA. My husband has several old cars. I haven't seen the inside of the garage in 20 years. But he loves his hobby cars and I would never dream of asking him to lose one. I say take her to court. Be sure you sue for replacement cost. The Impalas are getting hard to come by and you may have to pay more than you think. Oh, and congrats on dodging the bullet with that one. If she pulled this crap in the first year, just think what she would be trying after a couple of kids and 10 years of marriage." This comment received 7563 upvotes. A comment from user Mrs_Lukine says, "Completely, definitely, wholeheartedly NTA. What a horrid human being. What a selfish, ungrateful and disgusting human being. 67 Impala? I want to sue her too. I'm going to sue her for making you have to post this and causing me emotional distress. Is there like a GoFundMe for suing people? 'Cause I'll contribute. GoSuer.com." This comment received 4956 upvotes. A comment from user CareBear3513 says, "I would file a police report and see if there was any way that you could get her prosecuted." NTA. This comment received 2088 upvotes. A comment from user Be More Pacific PL says, "NTA. Holy shit. Definitely not the asshole. That's like your girlfriend selling a dog out from under you while you are on a business trip because she didn't like it. The audacity. If she didn't like it, she could have just ignored it. The most toxic part is that she sees no issue. Your property, your house, she throws it away? And if any judge knows the worth of that car, they would understand suing her for the costs. Let alone the time you spent on IT. That's a hobby, and a damn good one. If she couldn't support you and your project, that probably would have been a red flag for anything you do later on. I think this is all justified. Edit. To add NTA." This comment received 9503 upvotes. A comment from user The iGop says, "NTA. On a normal day this would be bad enough, but as a patrolhead this really has got my blood boiling. I can only imagine how much this meant to you. I am so sorry this has happened to you. I am so sorry. Is there any way you could get the car back?" This comment received 1120 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "Potentially some of the parts and stuff, but the body and chassis are for sure gone. Either cut up and sold or scrapped by now." This reply received 721 upvotes. A comment from user Wazamaniac says, "NTA. Take every penny, dude." This comment received 548 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "Every penny she has isn't even close, but making her lose her car and her nice things. I hate to say it, but it would feel damn good." This reply received 979 upvotes. A comment from user I Make Sawdust says, "Absolutely NTA. Did you file a police report? Up. I'd do a in-depth survey of the rest of your house to see if anything else has gone missing." This comment received 912 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "No, but after reading many comments telling me to, I guess I will be tonight." This reply received 911 upvotes. A comment from user Toger Sucks says, "NTA. Relationship-wise. This was a gross overstep on her part just to get her way on something minor. Ending the relationship immediately was the right thing to do. Legal-wise. Don't destroy something you can't afford to replace. Take her down. Let her pay it off over the next few years." This comment received 1729 upvotes. A comment from user Whatever1215 says, "NTA. How do you have the nerve to do something like that in someone's home? She isn't even your wife. She went too far and I say you dodged a bullet. This comment received 15,394 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "I wouldn't say I dodged a bullet. More like it hit me in the shoulder instead of the heart. Hurts, but could be a lot worse." This reply received 16,063 upvotes. A comment from user Mashlead says, "NTA, that is fooked up, and I can't believe anyone is defending that behavior. I mean, maybe if you were like married for years and that stuff had been sitting around for like 10 years or something and it was also her house, I could see an argument. But none of that is the case here. I would be livid. Wow, just wow. Yeah, unless she can get it all back somehow, she owes you." This comment received 764 upvotes. A comment from user Kitty Tickle Hips says, "If her family wants to be all involved in her life, maybe they should have suggested she doesn't sell the project her significant other has been spending a significant amount of time and money on. She's not a child. It's not like she had no understanding of what she was doing. Even some children would have more respect than that NTA at all." This comment received 125 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "To be somewhat fair, I haven't been spending a lot of time or money on it recently. There's nothing I can do without first spending a lot of money, and I wanted to save up a bit of money during this crisis in case I lost my job or something happened." This reply received 159 upvotes. A comment from user Nopuedezer818 says, "NTA, oh my gosh. This is so obviously NTA. Holy crap. What a betrayal. Sue her for it all. So glad you have receipts." This comment received 355 upvotes. A comment from user Roshiogro says, "Inta, that's not only rude but selfish and inconsiderate of her. Screw her and everyone that's giving you crap about it. To them it might just be a piece of junk, but it was important to you. Definitely use her and make her learn a lesson." This comment received 111 upvotes. A comment from user Nicolt45 says, "NTA. I'm really sorry this happened to you. Unfreaking believable. Did you also call the police and file a police report? It might aid in getting your property returned to you. Also, make sure if you evict her you do so legally so that doesn't come back to bite you." This comment received 109 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "I mean, she was never legally living with me, I don't think. I am not sure of the laws, but most of her stuff wasn't at my house, mostly just clothes and makeup and stuff, and her registered address like on her driver's license shows her parents' address where she lived previously, so I think I am okay." This reply received 137 upvotes. A comment from user Useless Millennial says, "My husband has an old Datsun Ute that he bought when he was 17. Years later it's still partially complete in our yard, and has moved houses with us twice, about to come with us again for a third move. It's his passion project and it matters to me because it matters to him. Your GF has shown you how little she cares about your passions, and therefore you kick her ass out. Sue her for the money plus damages and get yourself another car to work on." This comment received 115 upvotes. A comment from user An anonymous user says, "NTA. IANAL. Took this from a legal website. Stealing a vehicle to then sell any part of it will likely constitute grand theft auto. The following elements must be present for an individual to be convicted of grand theft auto. 1. The defendant took or drove the vehicle. 2. The vehicle was not the lawful property of the defendant. 3. The lawful owner of the vehicle did not give the defendant permission, not consent to take or drive the vehicle. And 4. The defendant intended to permanently deprive the owner of their vehicle. File a police report. She needs to be arrested and charged. You can pursue both criminal and civil charges, and you should pursue both." This comment received 94 upvotes. A comment from user Diabolicaldeb says, "NTA, sue her ass. Sue her for the cost plus a few extra thousand for the time and money. Have her prosecuted for theft, destruction of private property, and have the guys that came to get it prosecuted for receiving stolen goods. Nail them all to the wall." This comment received 52,211 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, I mean, I can't blame the guys that came and got it. She told them it was her dad's and she had lost the title for it and wanted it gone, and they believed her, so it's not their fault they got lied to. This reply received 22,285 upvotes. A comment from user Reddit user 1306 says, "Inta. Fuck her. That is ridiculous." This comment received 252 upvotes. A comment from user Lock Bratty Sub says, "NTA, my husband's family works on cars and my husband is dying to be able to work on a car again. In my opinion, you should have called the police as well as sued her. She essentially stole your property." This comment received 86 upvotes. A comment from user Hanbon88 says, "NTA. You should rephrase to suing my ex-GF. She took something you loved that didn't belong to her and got rid of it because it didn't fit her needs. Absolutely ridiculous. It was your property in your house. All this over a place for her to park. Think about how selfish she is, and hopefully you never get back with her." This comment received 162 upvotes. A comment from user Teresa JS says, "NTA, I'd have called the police to file a report for theft, as well." This comment received 214 upvotes. A comment from user Sir Eddington says, "Info. Did you manage to get it back from scrapyard? Your NTA, by the way." This comment received 147 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "No, it's all gone. I might be able to get a few odds and ends back, but they sell lots of parts online and they're quick about getting new stuff online, so it's probably all across the US by now. Body and chassis were almost certainly sold whole, cut up and sold as patches, or just scrapped entirely. I am still looking into though." This reply received 246 upvotes. A comment from user Heavy Metal Modder says, "Definitely NTA. That's an amazing car. Can you call the scrapyard and get it back? I've been looking for a Winchester car to rebuild myself and I cannot find any 4-door 67 Impalas anywhere." This comment received 497 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "I asked them to gather what all they got, but they said most of it is probably gone by now, and I agree. They sell a lot of parts online, so there's undoubtedly not much left, if anything." This reply received 485 upvotes. A comment from user WampireKit3N says, "NTA. My heart broke while reading that. Can you get the car back somehow?" This comment received 58 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "Not likely, but I hope so." This reply received 61 upvotes. A comment from user TX_Gen says, "Absolutely NTA. Wow. I can't believe anyone is defending her. Fuck all of them." This comment received 121 upvotes. A comment from user Oh Holly Hell says, "NTA. I can make an educated guess as to why it was a 67 Impala, and I am horrified for you. That's straight up theft. If that's how she treats your baby, imagine what else she'll feel free to dispose of." This comment received 1169 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "You probably think it has something to do with the show Supernatural, but no. When I was a kid, my grandpa had one all original that he bought new, and when he passed it was sold off, but I loved that car so much I knew I was going to have one someday. His was a 2-door SS with the 327 and 3-speed, but the 4-door is more my cup of tea." This reply received 1834 upvotes. A comment from user Nyamai says, "NTA at all. This is coming from me and my brothers. I read this to them. All of us agree that this is absolute bullshit from her and that she definitely needs to be taken to court. None of us could imagine this happening to ourselves. You're not married, so she can't claim ownership over anything. I'm sorry that you have to deal with this bullshit. I hope you can get your Impala back." This comment received 143 upvotes. A comment from user Atomic Bluebell says, "NTA. My husband would literally murder me if I did that. Seriously, like with a wrench." This comment received 127 upvotes. A comment from user K_J_E says, NTA at all. Get your money back, King. She is insane. This comment received 191 upvotes. A comment from user Carmela Camara says, "Oh my god, I'm so angry. NTA. You need to be made whole. Not just the 11K, but an equivalent car, regardless of the price. I don't know if things work that way, but I hope they do. Update us once the lawyering happens." This comment received 102 upvotes. A comment from user an anonymous user says, "I don't know if anyone else has mentioned this but #YOU can get your car and all the parts back free of charge once you file a police report. They are in possession of stolen goods and have no choice but to release them once you prove ownership. Please make sure OP sees this." This comment received 269 upvotes. A comment from user Truckensteinwaystaken says, "NTA, you failed her first test. Congratulations." This comment received 144 upvotes. A comment from user Enkacher says, "I hate to sound like an asshole myself, but it's the principle of the whole situation. You owned the home, the garage, the car, and the parts. She owned not a damn thing. Yenta she is. What the actual hell? Who does she think she is?" This comment received 201 upvotes. A comment from user Fire Ebony Ashes says, "NTA, I don't know much about cars but that one looks nice. Sorry it got thrown away, sad face. Was there a reason why she didn't want to park outside? It just seems like no reason other than she wanted her car in there. Where I'm from we don't really have parking garages much, so I don't see the urgency in why she really needed her car there. Her family is blowing up your phone to let it go, but your soon-to-be ex could have let that parking garage go. What did she think was gonna happen when you came back to find your project gone?" This comment received 71 upvotes. A reply from the original author Jimothyisyouruncle says, "She always lived with her parents before she came to live with me and she was used to getting everything she wanted. Her own parking spot in the garage being one. I guess maybe parking in the garage make her feel like she was home or something. I have no idea. The garage isn't even that nice tbh." This reply received 143 upvotes. A comment from user Mother to Bubba Dragon says, "NTA, typing as a female who has no interest in cars, you don't touch a restoration project. Sue her. She deserves it, and to use your word, get your justice." This comment received 102 upvotes.